No, well, you're one of them.
I know. I'm not saying I'm not.
No,
but, I mean,
I'm just intrigued by what criteria you use for deciding.
And last week, I think's wrong.
All right, Lee. I wish you well. Try to stay out of trouble, mate, and do bear in mind that if you are mixing with large numbers of people, then whoever you go home to will also be at risk.
In today's video, we're looking at a heated exchange between James O'Brien and a caller who believes Black Lives Matter has gone too far. Although this conversation happened a few years ago, the issues being debated, protests, statues, history, and race, are still heavily discussed today. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let's break down this fascinating debate and see how the conversation unfolds.
I just wanted to speak about the march and that tomorrow from the the football hooligan side of it, like they're saying they're all thugs and all this. But I mean, I'll put it clear, I think they're just sick of what's going on here. Everyone has jumped on this thing that's been in America, and like the statues and all that, what they've done, it's gone a bit too far in a lot of people's eyes around London anyway.
Yes.
I think tomorrow, if they have cancelled the march, I think it's for the best, because I do think there possibly is going to be a bit of trouble up there if they did start trying to attack more statues.
Well, I've seen some tweets this morning from people who are clearly hoping for trouble and violence. How does someone like me tell the difference between somebody who really wants violence and somebody who, perhaps like Andy, I don't know if you heard that call, is more than happy to mete it out, but probably would rather, I don't know whether he would rather not or not, but how do we tell the difference between the people who are up for a fight and the people who are acting out of purity and principle, Lee?
Well, I think majority of working class people around London anyway, just normal builders, not always builders and that, but just normal people that have had it a bit hard in their life and just looking at what's going on here. And they've got to the point, it's becoming a bit of a joke. Well, not everyone is racist at all. I've got black friends, but some of these people that have done this stuff up there, to the police as well, attacking them. I've seen videos.
Andy thought it was mostly middle class white kids that would have been responsible for the vandalism and the violence.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I agree with some of that.
But here we are talking about race again.
In a way, I am, because this is what a lot of it's going to. I was looking at a video on Twitter, I think it might have been yesterday, and there was some black kids that have been arrested.
Be careful, they've been arrested, so we can't talk about that. It's a live criminal case.
But that's what I'm still saying, though. It's still
no, and I'm saying don't talk about that because it's a live criminal case, and you know, particularly from some of the constituencies that you describe, you know what happens when people disrupt criminal proceedings. You can end up in prison. So the question really, I mean, can I ask you a question? You promise not to get cross with me. What is it that you fear when you describe things going too far? What are you worried about?
It's putting a bigger divide where
between who?
White people, race.
No, but we've just established that most people on these marches are white, or at least loads of them are.
But they're not all white, are they? Come on. It's not.
No, but nor are your friends. Your friends aren't all white either, you said.
No, I've got some, but tomorrow it's going to be majority white people that's up there on the march, on the football.
So what is it you're worried about? What are you fearful of?
I'm not worried about anything. I just think it's going to.
So when you say it's going too far, or it will get out of hand, what will?
Well, it's going to be trouble, isn't there, between black and white people? It's what's coming.
Well, no, there's going to be trouble between. It's not going to be divided by race, is it? As we've just established, any more than your friendship group is. It's going to be divided by something else, which I tried to get to with Andy, but with you, I'm more interested in you now. What are you? What are you cross about? What are you worried about?
I'm not worried about anything. I'm cross about all these statues and that are going to get took down. It's just, I think.
But they're not. They've been protected.
No, but the ones that the guys at like hospital and stuff that they're taking down. It's just. It's been there for years. It's just.
It has been there for years, and we sent children up chimneys for years. But you wouldn't want to go back to that, would you?
No, not really. But I mean, it is going, this is my opinion. It's going a bit too far, and I just think tomorrow.
No, I know you keep saying it's going a bit too far, and I keep saying what is.
Well, this Black Lives Matters.
It's going too far.
There's white people. But there's white people that have everyone's life matters. It ain't just black people, is it?
Well, that's what the movement is designed to achieve. It's
Exactly.
to say Black Lives Matter as well. So stop killing us.
Yeah, who's saying it doesn't?
Well, the policing record in America makes it absolutely clear.
But I mean, we're not America. We're in.
No, but we're talking about where this started with George Floyd, and the records here. The records here also show. You see, now you and me are shouting at each other or talking over each other. I'm not. You think that when you say it, you mean we're spending too much time worrying about black people.
At the moment, yeah. So everything's been forgotten about coronavirus. Yeah.
Yeah, but what were you planning on doing tomorrow? Looking into coronavirus and doing a bit of social distancing advice, or marching up to London for a fight?
Marching up to London tomorrow, definitely. Yeah. Because
you see, but there it is. You see, in the same breath, claiming that coronavirus is what we should all be talking about. But
it's all been broken now, isn't it? Everyone's not social distancing. There ain't no more.
I am. Yeah.
But not everyone is.
No, that's the problem, Lee. You don't make it better by joining in with the people doing things wrong.
No, I agree with that as well. But then at the same time,
what are you going to be doing tomorrow?
Stopping anyone attacking any statues.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
How would you explain to your child why there was a statue in your town of celebrating a man who treated your people like animals?
I would just say it's part of history. That's what I would say. It ain't right, but it's history.
But so why can't we take the statue down then if it's not right?
Because it was up there for a reason. It's been put up as a symbol,
children were up chimneys for a reason, but we managed to get rid of that, didn't we? So what is it about slavery? Why is slavery somehow not as bad as putting children up chimneys?
I'm not saying slavery is not bad. It is bad.
So why can't we take the statue down?
It's part of London that's been up there for years. I'm talking about the ones in London anyway. So
right. So because it's been there for ages, we have to leave it up there. And then how does anything ever change?
There is people, James, that don't want them to come down.
No, well, you're one of them.
I know. I'm not saying I'm not.
No, I'm just intrigued by what criteria you use for deciding.
And last week, I think's wrong.
All right, Lee. I wish you well. Try to stay out of trouble, mate, and do bear in mind that if you are mixing with large numbers of people, then whoever you go home to will also be at risk.
What makes this exchange so interesting is how quickly the conversation moves beyond the surface issue of the march and into a much deeper debate about race, history, and change. Lee begins by saying he's simply worried about possible trouble, but when James O'Brien repeatedly asks the same question, what exactly has gone too far? Lee struggles to give a clear answer. Instead, the conversation shifts toward statues, tradition, and the fear that changing the past somehow means losing something important. One of the biggest moments comes when Lee argues that certain statues should remain because they have been there for years. But O'Brien challenges that idea by asking a simple question. If something from history is wrong, does its age automatically make it untouchable? The comparison becomes even more powerful when Lee admits that things like child labor were wrong and society moved away from them. So the question becomes, why should some parts of history be preserved while others are challenged? Then comes the moment that really changes the conversation. After expressing concerns about public health and social distancing, Lee reveals that he plans to travel to London for the protest himself. It creates a clear contradiction between his concerns and his actions. The wider point is that this debate was never just about one statue. It was about how people respond when society starts questioning long-standing symbols and traditions. For some, removing a monument represents correcting the past. For others, it feels like an attack on history itself. And that is exactly why conversations like this remain so important. Because behind every political argument, there are deeper questions about identity, change, and what kind of history we choose to remember.